Hey guys, how you all doing? So I think like many of you, as you can see, I still have version 13 of FSD, and then I still have version 13 of FSD 13.2.9. And like many of you, I have FOMO. FOMO of missing out on all the goodies of version 14.1. But so far, so good. I'm gonna see what is it gonna do. Is it gonna pull in for this car coming? Yes, like a human would do as well. So, yeah, I still have version 13.1, and it still does the job for me basically. Does what I needed to do in terms of taking me from one place to the other, daily commute, and all of that. But then, like all enthusiasts, we want the next one. But if what I'm saying is correct, it feels like we've gone back to the days of version 13.1, where that's with the version 14.1, where we had to deal with phantom braking, which I think is a bigger problem than some of the issues that have been resolved in the new iteration of 14.1. Right now I can't choose. I'm going to Tim Hortons. I just want to grab a bite for lunch. I can't choose the option, curbside parking, drive through and all of that stuff that's in the new update. But then I know the car is going to drive. It's not going to, jerk on me suddenly. And, I get to enjoy it. So, yeah, this drive is just to sort of say, if you're waiting like me, I do not think you are missing out on much. As humans, like all of us are enthusiastic, we want the next update. But I think it'll be better for them to resolve the updates before sharing it, sending it out to everybody. Which takes me back to an idea that I've kind of floated online. I shared it on my Twitter page. I said, with respect to Tesla's update, I think it will be better if they do it the same way Apple does it, whereby rather than because right now I do not understand the metric they use in sending out the updates. I know they send it to influencers, they send it out to members of your staff, which is reasonable. If you work for Tesla, test the product, you become a product tester automatically, and you drive one. That's reasonable. But then there are some members of the public, who do have access to it as well. And I do not understand the rationale behind prioritizing those as against those of us. By the way, this is a 2025 Model Y Tesla. It has the hardware 4 on it as well. So it's not like it's the old hardware or anything of that nature that we might say, oh, maybe it's difficult to get in on it. No, it's a recent hardware as well. So what's the rationale behind some persons getting the updates and some not getting it? It does not make much sense to me. That said, based on the reviews I've been seeing around and what people have been doing, all the tests that have been happening around, funny enough, I saw Canada FSD. He actually did some of the drive around here. I think that intersection just up ahead was where he came out from. I saw him and I'm like, oh, okay, he's in my neighborhood. Anyway, I digress. That's not the point of the that I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is, based on this testing that they've done, that I've seen, I do not think we are missing out on much. So if you still have 13.2.9, you are just as good to go as anyone else. You should not have any FOMO of any kind. You are not missing out on anything. Of course, okay, maybe I lie if I say you're not missing out on anything. Technically, you are missing out on a few things. Being able to do curbside. What's it gonna do here? Legs off. Okay, it's like, okay, there is enough space, even though it's like there's a white line. This is the reasonable thing a human would do. And that's what okay. I thought that was there is a lineup at Timmy's, and I think I need to see someone. Would I be able to wait this long? You know what? No. So I'm gonna change my destination, and yeah, I'm not gonna be able to wait that long. I have an appointment by 1 p.m. to meet with someone. So yeah, 12:59. I can't wait to do that. So what's it gonna do? Okay, it's just gonna go around. Weird. So some of the issues, now you see the map. The map is saying it should go this way, come back into here before going, instead of going or taking the left here. Anyway, I'm gonna see what FS is going to do when it gets to this point. And that brings me to like the next point I want to make. So, as part of the problems still existing. Okay, I think it's gonna abandon. Yeah, you see. Oh. Okay, now this does not make sense. Would this be better on? It should be going out over there, but right now he wants to make a U-turn here. Like, make it make sense. Make it like we should be gone by now. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Like, I'm sure all those people driving will be like, who's this idiot? What's it doing? So, like the reviews I do for Tesla, I don't hide anything. This does not make sense right now. It made absolutely zero sense what FSD just did right here. You know, it had no business going that way. Like, we should be out of all this place by now. Anyway, are these things that have been resolved in version 14.1? Based on the videos I have seen, you know, maybe it drives a little smoother, but then it's still making similar mistakes with the map. And I say this, that regardless of how, in quotes, how good FSD might be, as long as the map continues to make mistakes and errors like this one, it's not going to be a system that would be completely independent. Of course, I'm waiting to lay my hands on the version 14 myself, you know, and see do some like test case scenarios for it and see where it goes. But based on what I've seen so far, the major improvements are just being able to do like curbside, being able to technically do banish, which is, for those who do not know what banish means, it's like a reverse summon. So whereby you park your car, like you're going to Costco, for instance, or say Walmart, you tell your car to drop you at the curbside, and then you get into the store, you tell your car to go park itself. You know, so I've seen, you know, the potential for that in some of the videos that have been shared. But overall, in terms of, you know, basic things like what just happened right now, it's still gonna make that mistake. That said, is this system good enough? Do I like it enough to the point where I think we, you know, not even just like it, do I think it makes sense enough for, like, you know, everyday use case? Absolutely. If I wasn't doing a test and, you know, wanting to show you guys it's fully, I would have taken over at that point and then, you know, carried on. That's one. Secondly, I do think that we are not yet at that point where I can confidently, or anyone should confidently sit behind, you know, this system, and where you don't have access to a steering wheel. Robotaxi. So the Robotaxis have been touted by Elon Musk, going to change the world, it's going to do this, yada, yada, yada. He's a smooth talker, you all know that. It's nice to hear. But given the realities on ground, I do not think so. It's going to still take a while until Tesla fixes its map. If the map still does, you know, weird, random things, like I've gone through that intersection 1,000 times already, and it will never do what it just did today. But it did it today. That is out of the blue. So if that's the case, if I'm behind a Robotaxi that doesn't have a steering wheel, and I cannot be confident enough that my car would not do something out of the blue like that, then can you truly say it is autonomous? So those are just my thoughts on, I know so many of you, like I said, have FOMO. I will be lying if I say I don't want to have it and test it. Like what happened today, I'm so eager, I want to try it out. But then, like I said, I've gone this route so many times without anything happening. So maybe 14.1, my first couple of tests will also not do anything. But down the line, would this still happen? So yeah, just like I said, these tests are meant to be as objective as possible. Do I think it's a really solid system? 150%. I've used it in crazy terrains, in the snow, in where there are practically no lines to guide you. I've driven in rain, like heavy rain. When I was doing the Calgary to Vancouver trip, there was heavy rain on the Coquihalla, and this car did not skip a beat. It didn't even ask me to take over, not once. And it wasn't driving too fast. It was driving pretty fast, but it slowed down to adjust to the conditions. So if the max was say 110, I think I should look for that video and make an update here as and post it on here. If the max was like 110, I think it was doing roughly around 100, or maybe 90, just doing a little bit below, following what everyone else around it was doing in terms of traffic. And it didn't skip a beat, was moving smoothly in heavy rain. So on my daily commute, I rarely go anywhere without using FSD. Like, it makes life easier, And for those who say, oh, you are testing all of this, you all have all this software in your cars already anyway. They're just not as sophisticated as a Tesla. There are like the lane assist, lane centering, all of those features are on the new cars. They are just not as good as what Tesla has on offer at the moment. So, I think that takes out the argument as well. So overall, I think it's a good system. It's comfortable enough. It's efficient, does its job. But would I be comfortable to see behind it yet? Not at all. So I would say let's wait, let them fix it completely, and then we wait to see what you have to do. If for future updates, I know they are probably not listening to me, but if they, by chance, maybe the video goes viral or something and they see it, make it like the way Apple rolls out its updates, whereby, you can subscribe to, not even subscribe, you can opt in. When the updates come, you get a notification. This is a better option. You can, opt into it to test it, but then not rolled out like it is for everybody. That way, you can roll it out in phases, get some test feedback, but then daily users, because I can't imagine my wife getting behind this and using this FSD now. She has never used it, by the way, since we've had this car for how long. Anyway, that's that. Thanks for riding. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.